Greetings, this is Kitchen, and welcome to my pre-game video about Man. In this video, I'll talk briefly about what I think about the nation, how I will, how I have designed Pretender for the game, and what my general maybe plan for the game, I suppose. This is the first time I'll be making that sort of a video. It's not like the fully blown out, overview that I would feel more comfortable with the nation. I know how to play better because this is literally the second time I'll be playing Man, and the first time was a blitz that you may have or may not have watched in history on my channel. So yeah, Man definitely had a big glow up in Dominion 6 because the Knights of Avalon are now sacred. Man for me was always kind of a pushover in Dominion 5, wherever at least I had him in a game. I don't, maybe it was players' fault for not piloting them properly, maybe just the nation wasn't actually that strong. I don't know what that was exactly, but I always thought Man wasn't particularly great because I never had issues fighting them, but I have never played them either. And on paper, I mean, this is definitely even if we don't get into Knights of Avalon, this is definitely a potent nation, right? They have fantastic longbows. If you go for the range playstyle, of course, it's not great against everyone. They have solid, just basic heavy cavalry, like 45 gold. They're not exactly cheap. A lot of resources. They definitely don't hold up against Ulmish Knights. Ulmish Knights will eat them for the breakfast. I'm pretty sure. But they're not bad. And also Ulmish guys cost 60 gold if I'm not wrong, and like 80 resources. Our landless knights are pretty good frontline infantry for sure. There's some other different lighter options, but generally I don't find much use for them myself, unless in like just trying to get out everybody. But I have a couple interesting foreign recruit options for like patrolling and shit like that. I think one of them are these guys, right? You can get them in every forest. These are quite interesting, stealthy patrollers. Probably can find some use for them. So yeah, a nice thing about them, they have monks that are mundane researchers. You can research, and they are the divine researchers. So you can have as many monks researching as you have candles in a province. Pardon me, they're incredibly cheap, so that's not a bad thing to have. Bards. Oh yeah, so all the proper mages are spell singers, and this is again, I've never played any spell singers either in the past. So I'm not really used to the longer casting time for less fatigue. I don't know what exact calculations are between how many masters can be supported by how many slaves and stuff like that. I'll be just winging it. But yeah, this guy is pretty nice. With Glamour 1, they can be casting luck. That's probably the big one. They're spies. That's less of an importance. I thought they were seducers. Maybe that's in Dominus Enhanced. Daughters of Avalon. Yeah, Glamour. I mean, wait, what did they have in Dominus 5? I actually don't remember because Glamour wasn't a thing. Was it air? Was it water? I have no clue. Air. Hmm. But I don't know. Similar story. Glamour allows them to join chorus. So yeah, they can even the normal daughters as masters can cast some big nature, big glamour. They're pretty damn cheap mages. Pretty efficient for the research. The Mother of Ovals are substantially more expensive, but still also cost only 2 recruitment points. So you can definitely amass those if you have gold. So per turn of recruitment, they are your best researchers, but of course, cost-wise, not exactly. Yeah, potentially nature 3 out of them, glamour 2, and some mix of water and earth. You're probably not gonna be using them for the nature water cross path, but yeah, all in all, they're pretty nice. They can give you access to some rituals or um, combat spells without as big of a communion as you daughters for. In Chronos of Avalon, of course, cap only mages who are old unless they roll nature, extra nature, then they're not old, which is fun. Yeah, they can be your big nature, big glamour mages, and have some sprinkling of other magics. Go away phone. Yeah, they are definitely your biggest like ritual casters, most reliable of getting nature for like remote werewolves attacks with wolves. And yeah, various combat enchantments, I suppose. And yeah, Logran Wiseman, those are pretty nice. Yeah, foreign recruits, so you need fort you need lab outside of a fort to be able to get them. You can't get them inside the forts because they don't like men, since they're conquered. And yeah, that's your access to Earth 2, which means hammers eventually, and some other sprinklings for potentially various item crafting and whatnot. Um, I don't think there is an item that puts you in a chorus if you don't have Spellsinger, so sadly can't like slap them in for the big spells, but you at least do get that Earth access potentially out of Mothers or yeah, Crown of Avalon. So with enough communion going, with enough chorus going, you can put a big air, water, or earth spells as well. Lord Wardens, I feel like those guys kind of lost their. I mean, I guess they're stealthy, but you know, before only Lord Wardens and Wardens of Avalon were your secrets, and they're perfectly fine. Like Greatsword infantry, is nice. Definitely, what makes them less useful though, besides of course there being Knights of Avalon as sacreds, is that the magic weapons in Dominion 6 is just such a bullshit less as far as it's way too expensive. It's bullshit how they change it. It's been nerfed to the ground. And I don't like it. And I feel like if you really want to rely on wardens, you need the magic weapons because yeah, Knights of Avalon cover it with the unicorn's horn attack. But yeah, I don't see much reason for these guys. Maybe some cute raiding with Warden Avalons. I mean, I honestly haven't thought of it earlier. That might be kind of interesting thing to do. Maybe shame these guys. Maybe if these guys were like Holy One, that would have been actually nice. Then again, monks are dirt cheap, so you can spare some to move around with the troops even if they die. So yeah, Knight Commanders. Yeah, your best leaders. Besides Lord the Wardens, that's similar stats. But yeah, very thuggable with some items. Not thuggable out of the gate, but the amazing part, of course, they have built in poison resistant, recuperation, and disease resistant. Same goes for the mount, so that's a huge deal. Like you'll be able to heal the wounds you incur during thugging. Very expensive, of course, but with some construction 5, I need to get used to saying construction 5 instead of construction 4. So like Frostbrand, yeah, like even Frostbrand probably, and maybe like Bracers of Protection and Bottle of Holy Water, whatever. Yeah, the Holy Water. So that's like 3 items, pretty damn budget, and yeah, I'm pretty sure they can at that point raid stall up to decent PD. Of course, Knights of Avalon, the glow up boys. Um, Amazing. They're amazing. They're probably one of the strongest Middle Ages sacreds right now. One of the strongest, but I wouldn't say the strongest. Uh, Fantastic Calf, definitely overshadowing elves. I feel like elves gotten much worse with the changes to mounts. But why is that? So they have heavy armor. Again, it's not quite Ulmish levels of protection, but it's good. But the freaking horse has 20 protection. That's great. That's where elves struggle, where their horses are just unarmored. So yeah, just built in 21 protection with decent defense skill because skill rate 4, and they have base 12 as well. The big deal, of course, is Alicorn, which is magical damage. So that kind of helps you bypass attacking ethereal units if you don't go for magic weapons, because these bad boys will be able to do it. And yeah, of course, Lance, Broadsword, pretty standard. Yeah, like just awesome sacreds. We start with some glamour and some nature gem income. Yeah. So this is the guard. Oh, so just to be clear, the game is already going when I'm recording this. So um, hindsight's 2020, but this was the original guard, and you can see that there's Heroism 4 here for some reason, which of course right now I would absolutely not take. When I made this guard, it was 50%, and I thought it was strong option. It was strong use of single blast points of couple singles. So like 2 to 4, very nice. It boosts your research over time. It definitely can give you a lot of stats quite quickly on your sacreds. But the problem is, or the problem was, that it really was only like your first couple expansion parties that were able to accumulate a lot of experience by fighting, right? Every swing was free XP, every fight was, whatever, like 3, I think, per combat. So that was 9. On top of that, I mean, yeah, basically you are able to get to 3 to 4 stars quite quickly. And the thing is, you are able to do it, but with limited number of troops. Of course, then you probably go to war with someone. You keep on bringing more of your sacreds, and then the new recruits have a chance of, getting those stars. But at the initial phases of the wars, the fresh recruits, they'll be 1 star at best, just from passive gain, which is still nice. But this is for blast points that are going into potentially nothing when things go poorly. When you lose your original sacreds that were experienced, it's like completely wasted points at that point. So making it 35%, like what even is this number? Like what's supposed to? Why is there 5%? The way it works is that when in my case 4 times 35 is 140, so I have 100% of getting extra point. So let's say per turn passively 2 points, right, instead of 1, or per swing, and then 40% of getting another. So it's percentage chance based of getting that extra XP. It's not like accumulated in some back corner where every third extra you'd be guaranteed whatever. It's shit. I hate this change. Honestly, maybe Heroes 3 is still worth going. I would probably drop it maybe to win Heroes 2, because 70% it feels much better than 140 just by the merit of the investment, right, of bless points. Yeah, you're not guaranteed that 1 point, but you have higher than you have decent chance. 20% is a decent chance of getting that extra point. For 2 bless points, maybe worth it. I hope this is gonna get reversed, because that was the typical outcry of people that have no fucking idea about the game. I feel like, not that I am like particular expert, but I feel like they really didn't think about crying about heroism before, starting to complain on Steam or whatever. But yeah, Blood Surge, because Blood Surge is awesome, great for cavalry, great for unicorns as well. Unicorns get cracked quite a lot with that. Enchanted Blood, because freaking magic resistant and that little bit of regeneration goes a long way. And your rings don't bleed out. I mean, it's just fantastic. It's expensive. 4 is expensive. But this is just gives you a lot of value, I feel like. Here I went for 4 times Strength of Flesh. Because the Heavy Lances got nerfed. Yeah, half the strength of charging unit. I'm pretty sure. I don't know even what has heavy charge. Oh no, sorry, it is full strength. Okay, I swear to God, I knew that there's something happened to lances, but I just can't pointed at exactly what happened. Maybe their basic damage got lowered. Like this just feels lower, right? But still, maybe they don't count as 2-handed weapon anymore. There's something that happened to lances that made them worse. So I'm trying to negate it by bumping that strength up, so we guarantee the kill if the lance hit lance, and then we'll be hitting 22 with broadsword plus the blood surge, so that's another 3 strength, so that's plus 7 strength total, 25 broadsword. I mean, it's like greatsword swinging basically. And then unicorns also with plus 5 strength are hitting for 22 with that horn. Looks pretty good. So yeah, I mean, this is just to buff their killiness. Strong Vita. So again, that's another thing that I would probably drop right now. I probably will try and redesign him after I'm done talking. The reason why I took 3 points of Strong Vita, however pronounce that properly, apologies, is because it's gonna, so it brings unicorns to 30 hit points from the get-go. Doesn't matter. It brings knights to 219, but the reason for that was the synergy between heroism and that little bit extra HP, because at 4th star, if I'm not wrong, at 3rd or 4th star, actually, I can't quite remember right now. Units get extra 2 hit points. So there are 2 brackets where they get like strength, they get like lower encumbrance, I think at 5 stars, various stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure at 4th, actually I think it's 4th, maybe 3rd, they get extra 2 hit points. So with that plus 3, it will allow them to go over 20, so 21 hit points. And that means with regeneration, which I should hopefully be able to cast it easily, with all my nature mages, it's gonna make them regenerate 3 hit points per turn instead of 2, which is 50% increase. It's substantial. And of course, with occasional ticks from the Enchanted Blood. So that was the reason for it. Of course, with heroes being gutted, I think I'm gonna drop it. It's unnecessary. Poison resistance, it might be a bit weird because again, I have built-in poison resistance. Pretty much all of my mages, I mean, some of my mages have poison resistance. This is to help with, what was I thinking actually about? Well, I think I kind of made decision to take it, planning to cast Fall Vapors myself, and for 10 poison resistance to just secure me from it, right? I think that was the main thing I was going for. Chakras, always something, right? It's not gonna protect me from big direct Thunderstrike hits, but the AoE from them will not be butchering me. So that's mainly for that. And fire resistance, again, it's mainly for my hoofs to not get wrecked on fire shields and some various fire spells. As you can see, the price for this bless is dreadful scales. Kind of dreadful. Let me talk about Frostfather. It's kind of weird, right? Because I'm going Heat and Frostfather, but this is... I didn't want to go cold for the logistic purpose. I didn't want to get slowed down. And the other reason is he just gave me the best cost with path access to just give me the enough blast points I wanted to work with. So hold on. If we drop the stuff, right? 5 blast points are free, just like that. So the rainbowing is the best way of getting blast points. Unfortunately, I'm not a fan of that, but so be it. Again, I think I've been saying that in some of my other videos, but I really think that hitting like 6 in a path and higher should give you 2 blast points per path at those numbers. So like 6 should be +2, +2, +2. Yeah. Well, it's not the case though. Shit. What did I want to change actually? Probably drop Death Magic, drop Nature Magic. Kinda don't want to drop Earth Magic. So, possibly stacking defense skill might be also better in long term. Since it's Cavalry and there was a certain person, I don't want to spoil too much, that has been stacking defense a lot, and it gave me trouble actually. It gave me trouble. The reason why I don't want to... Oh yeah, right, I cannot. I don't want to be giving myself blur and stuff like that, because I should be able technically give this by my glamour mages, of course, as long as they're present in a fight. But for raiding, usually your mages will not be present there just because your cav, the cav is incredibly... Oh right, I didn't point that out. Those guys are insanely mobile, 24 map move, yeah, and they have 4 survival too. That's just insane. That's just so incredible. Hmm. I don't know, it feels kind of ass, but let's see. Defense. The thing is that it gives single point now, but again, so that would be going to 19. Although shield, of course, is there, and shield is not particularly great for the protection value. 19, it's not bad. What do I want to fix though? Basically, for those points I'm dropping. So for Dominion is a bit low, as in I probably could utilize more just from the start of the games for recruitment, but man builds temples for 300, so half the price. And I genuinely think you want to be making temples anyways, just so you can make monks outside of all over your land, especially if going up against some undead nation, then they're gonna come in very useful for sure. So you can fix your dominion quite easily by just spamming temples. So I think this is like 4 works. I feel like 4 can work. One thing I was kind of missing was a little bit more order for the recruitment points, especially once I got to 7-ish or 8-ish dominion from temples. That little bit of order together with growth will just give me that extra little bit of breakpoint for recruiting more knights. Although it could be, you could work around from it with use of Marble Alliance, right? I think that's one of the spells that increases order. I can't think of any other if there is any other. And okay, I mean, I almost consider just dropping all of the heroism. Like it's so bad that it got so nerfed. But 70% is not bad. Um, yeah. So drain. It definitely did affect my research. Obviously, mild spoilers. Obviously, with drain, with you're gonna have worse research, but misfortune is also a bitch. One thing I would have liked to have in that game that I've been playing is humble mountain survival. It's surprisingly useful. Let's. So I mean, sorry. So you saw my pretender. You'll see the game with. So let's try and work a little bit. If you are not interested, of course, feel free to stop watching. Thank you so much for hanging up till now. But let's try and think of maybe something else. So Crone, yeah, she's old, and because Illwinter decided they don't like fun, you cannot transform your gods pretenders anymore, which is I don't, that's one of another change in Domain 6 that I really dislike. I mean, yeah, he has two building paths for 100 points. That's why he's like efficient. Doesn't it? Yeah, again, this doesn't work for fat blesses. You can definitely go for lighter bless, and your cow will do great. It just, if I don't play scale nations, like hard scales, then I just like to go hard bless. Maybe not quite hellish, as I would go with Lanka, but definitely something rigid. Hmm. Yeah, the pointing is now awkward as hell. Oof. Oof, that hurts my soul. So the fire resistance part, you're giving yourself wooden warriors likely. So you definitely want to go minus fire resistance in general. You can bump it up back again from water and fire paths that you have access to it, but it's not exactly easy to point buff it in large numbers. No, Drain 2 wasn't actually too bad. Lack was problematic. I feel like neutral lack. Neutral lack should be okay. Like bad events, I feel like they're way more common in Domain 6 somehow. And of course, not going misfortune will give you better chance of getting your hero. And yeah, there's the Green Knight, which can give you event, which will let you on other side. That's gonna let you recruit more Knights of Avalon. So actually, not going misfortune is kind of potentially doubling your sacred production. It's kind of a stretch to put it that way, but I don't think it's particularly large stretch. Maybe I drop one strength. Uh, Go for the mountain survival. I know it's kind of weird, but your knights are so mobile, right? That if you now also ignore mountains, you can just be zipping from one end to the other end of your empire, either cooling body vents, potentially protecting you from sudden attacks, or you can be just zipping through enemy land as well. Like you can jump two, or even sometimes I was able to jump 3 provinces deep inside of the enemy. Um, so yeah, maybe I would probably try something like this for the next time. Uh, Drop heroism. It's no longer worth going high. I feel like even two feels like just um. I mean, like I'm really debating just dropping completely from such an interesting, interesting bless, new bless in glamour. That I was happy to run. I don't know. Free bless points to guarantee extra XP per turn and extra XP per swing. No, dog. Two for 70%. I'm really curious how mathematically it's actually. I think mathematically, as far as cost that goes into those extra points of heroism, it's. I'm again. I'm not calculating. It's kind of pulling out of my ass as far as feeling goes. But I feel like at two, it's more worth than going to three. Um. Hmm. Yeah. I think this is. I may be going down with growth, but growth is so nice right now. With those larger provinces, it scales nicely. Always hurts to see 12 points left, but what can do? Nothing. Um, yeah, it's the same. I could drop Glamour instead of Earth because Earth is very useful. What was the button for the spellbook? That's right. What glamour? What fun glamour spells there are? Yeah, but these are like basically chorus. Mainly thinking about rituals. Of course, the summons. By the way, unicorns, I'm not a fan of, actually. I think Kushi are just better just because you get twice as many. Like, yeah, you get the horn attack, so technically you have twice the amount of attacks, and but not as much durability, for sure. And as far as just filling lines, Kushi do it better. Also, not a fan of Faithful Folk. I think they're good in certain situations, but at least for man, just get your sacreds. Better use of gems for sure. And this is easy to fix with a booster to get to 4. Uh, where's the fairy? Yeah, it's 4. So I think I will stay at 4 Earth Magic and the Glamour because this is gonna give you access to potentially Earthblood Deepwell, um, you know, the one that gives you production and gold, stuff like that. And you can potentially get Glamour 4 naturally, as unlikely as it is, but you can. But yeah, let's just call it myself. Which one was the old one? I'll just delete him. Yep. So thank you so much for watching. If you stayed up until this point, and I should start uploading games soon. Maybe even I'll upload the first episode after this one, but I'm not promising. But yeah, consider liking, subscribing, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye bye.